A very quick off-the-cuff video here, just showing you a really cool feature you can use for your printing, for printing your SKU labels and for printing your shipping labels. So if you're into FBA and you print a lot of labels, it can be a real pain in the arse to print these things. So what I wanted to do was essentially create a folder that I could put any label into, and then it would just automatically print. And if you've got a Mac, you can do the same. And this is how you do it. So what you want to do is, on your Mac, you want to use Command-Space to open up Automator, or you can just go to your Apple. Open up a Finder window. Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place here. Open up Automator, and what you want to do is create a new document. And inside of this, you want to create what's called a folder action, and you want to just choose that. And apologies if it's a bit slow, I'm just doing this through TeamViewer. Anyway, so you've got your sort of workflow here on the right hand side, and you can build your workflow or your sort of series of actions that will happen. And the thing you want to look for is Finder. Actually, no, ignore that. You want to search for... Oh, I should have prepared better for this. Print. Okay, here we go. Print Finder items. So you want to drag that down, and you want to do Print Finder items. Now, you should have multiple printers, hopefully. This would be a bit trickier if you've only got one printer, but I have two printers, one for SKU labels, one for shipping labels. So you want to basically, let's say we want to do the shipping labels one here for starters. So I want it to print two shipping labels, and you'll see above at the top here it says folder action receives files and folders added to, and you want to choose a folder. Now what you want to do actually here is go into, let's say, documents, or anywhere you want to put them, basically somewhere that's easily accessible, and you want to create a shipping labels folder and a SKU labels folder, and these are just empty basically, but these are going to be like the watch folders that are used to print labels from. So for this one, I'm going to choose a folder. I'm going to choose other, and then I'm going to go to my documents, and I'm going to, since this is the shipping labels one, I'm going to select shipping labels. And that is, for the most part, pretty much it. What will happen now, basically, once I click Command and S to save this, and if you want to call this like shipping labels printer demo, I'll call it demo, obviously you don't call that, and that will save that workflow, so you can click save. And now what you'll find is that anytime you're doing FBA and you want to print a shipping label, or that doing eBay or whatever, as long as it's all formatted correctly in the 4x6 format, all you need to do is basically save the file into the shipping labels, and it will automatically print. So do this and give it a go. Now, there's a few small caveats to this. It may be that on your printer you have a specific like preset to print things correctly. Maybe it's the correct orientation and the correct size. And this won't use any presets, so that's one of the kind of downsides to this. And I don't think there are any options that allow you to do it. So if you want to fix that, what you need to do is just open up a terminal window and just type in this. And I'll paste in the comments so you can see it, and then just see that, and then just press enter. Okay? And then you should be able to go to, in the browser, 127.001:631, and it'll open up essentially what is like an admin folder for your printers. And you can go to the administration, and you can go to manage printers, and inside of here you can see I've got two printers. I've got my SKU label printer and my shipping label printer. What you're going to do here is click on the, let's say, the shipping label printer here, and it will then give you a few options. You want to click down and go to the set default options. And what essentially we're doing here is, rather than creating a specific preset for your printer, like let's say the default printer prints out in landscape and it prints A4 as a default, but you have a preset set up for 4x6, in portrait mode, which is a standard label thing, what you can do is you can basically set the preset to be the 4x6. So in this here, what we can do is we can set the general media size to be 4x6, which is the standard shipping label one, and then you can click Set Default Options. And it may ask you for username and password, and all that is basically your username for your Mac and the password, your general password, and you click Save, and it will save that. And you can also go into the printer settings, and you may have set these things up. So on the Mumbin printer that I have for shipping labels, I had to reduce the printing speed down to 2 inches per second, reduce the darkness, add a gap to the top of 2mm. You can do all that here, and you can do the page options as well. You can do all these things, and you can set this to be the default option. And what that means is when you print from the automator in this workflow, it will print using the default options. And another thing I have in this, that's the most basic setup you can do, and it'll basically, you drag a folder, a shipping label file into the folder, and it'll automatically print. What I also do is just have a delete, so it'll be remove, find the items to bin, and you can do that. And what that'll do now is it's basically saying, okay, once a label's dragged in, it'll print it, and then it'll delete it. But what I also add in is just I think it's called pause, just a quick pause, and you just want to pause maybe for 1 second or so, and then it will delete it, or 2 seconds, something like that, just to stop it running too quickly and maybe messing it up. And because I like to print labels when I'm doing a shipping label and an FBA label, I like to print 2 of them, so I can put 2 on the top, 2 on the side. So what you can do again is just do the exact same thing. You can just clone this, or duplicate this, and what will happen is, and you can drag these things around as well. What will happen here now basically is it'll print once, print a second time, it will pause for 2 seconds, and then it'll delete the items to the bin. And what I also recommend potentially as well, just adding a pause at the beginning as well. This is mainly for if you are directly saving a download into this folder. What I have found is that sometimes it prints and then deletes it too quickly. So you can just add again a 2-second delay. That just essentially gives it time for the file to actually download and save into that folder, and then it'll finally print. So you can tweak with these things really, and there's all sorts of bits and bobs you can do in Automator. And then you can do, once you've saved that, so Command S, that's now saved. It's called Shipping Label Printer Demo. You can do the exact same thing for your SKU labels. So you just create another SKU labels folder, and then you go to Automator, and then you go to File, New, and then you just create a new workflow, another folder action. And if I just open up an existing one that I've got, so open recent print label SKU ones, you can see this is my kind of SKU one basically. So I basically download my SKU labels from my Amazon shipping workflow. I download them, and then I just drag them into the folder, and they automatically print for me. Easy peasy. Anyway, I thought that might be useful for maybe 1 or 2 of you out there. I just thought it was a cool little feature. It saves me, a few seconds every time I'm doing, 30 seconds or so every time I'm packing a box. So, this time adds up, and it just makes life much easier. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment or just ask me on Discord or whatever, and I can help you set up. And unfortunately, this is Mac only, so I don't know how you do it on the Windows. The way to do it on Windows is throw that out the window and get a Mac. But anyway, thanks guys. Hopefully that's useful, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video.